So hello everyone, how are you all guys doing? Hope you are doing fine. So as the board exams are coming near, so Karnataka State Board has provided us with 4 model question papers, science question papers. Out of those question papers, definitely around 70 marks, 65 to 70 marks are going to appear in the board exam. So let us go across all the model question paper one by one. We are going to start with the model question number 4, then 3, then 2, and then 1. Welcome to Mahavir Jain Academy. This is your Mahavir sir. I am working in excellent English medium school, Bijapur. With me around 50 plus students are there, and we are going to start discussing the science model question paper number 4, which has been provided by the Karnataka State Board. We are going to discuss each and every questions, and detailed answers will be provided. You can take the screenshot, or if you want any PDF of this one, you can please be in touch with me. Definitely I'm going to provide. So physics part will be covered by one of my colleague Amit sir. So first let us start with the chemistry questions which been asked in the model question number 4. One by one we'll go across. Any doubts are there in between? If you're not able to understand anything, feel free to mention in the comment section so that I'll definitely revert back to your questions. So let us begin with the chemistry section. So first section is MCQ based question. 3 questions are there. Each question carry 1 mark. That is totally 3 marks will be the weightage for this 3 MCQs. The first question, multiple choice question, that is, as the pH value of the neutral solution increases. So pH scale varies from 1 to 14. So anything above 7, the pH value will increase. Then what will happen? The basicity will increase. The OH minus ion concentration will increase. So that is the correct answer. So basic property decrease and number of OH minus ions increase. That is wrong. Acidic property increases and the number of H plus ions decreases. This one when the pH value will decrease. And the basic property increase and the number of OH minus ion increase is the correct option. As the pH value of a neutral solution from the 7, if it goes on increasing, pH value 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, definitely OH minus ions concentration will increase and the basic property also will increase. The correct option is the option C. Hope this is clear. Now the next question, the X, this is compulsory question. Most of the time either they ask for 1 mark. If they won't ask 1 mark, definitely they will go and ask for the 2 marks questions. That is about the oxidation reaction, or we can call it as how do you convert the ethanol into ethanoic acid or the acetic acid, or how do you obtain the acetic acid or ethanoic acid from the ethanol, or name the oxidizing agent which is used to convert the ethanol into ethanoic acid. So many different varieties of question will come based on this oxidation reaction in the carbanics compound chapter, chemical properties. Now here they are given the equation where the ethanol is there, C2H5OH is there, here the acetic acid or ethanoic acid is there. They are asking, they are given alkaline X over here, alkaline X is given over here, and they are asking which oxidizing is being used, which is alkaline in nature. The correct answer is that is the potassium permanganate, KMnO4. In case the same question, if they are given here instead of alkaline, if they would have been given as acidified, then the answer would have been the potassium dichromate. 2 oxidizing agents will be there. One is alkaline KMnO4, that is the potassium permanganate. Another catalyst is the acidified potassium dichromate. But here they are given the alkaline X. They are asking what is this X? That is the KMnO4. If they are given acidified X, that means that would have been, that is the K2Cr2O7. That is what? Acidified potassium dichromate. Hope this is clear with you. To make pure iron hard and strong, the substance that need to be added to it is just 0.05% of the carbon will be added to the iron to make that iron hard and stronger. So the correct option is the carbon. So they add very minimal percentage of the carbon to the iron to make it as a hard substance. Okay. The next one, frequently asked question, that is about the rancidity here. The next section is, it carries, each question will carry 1 mark. So total 3 questions are there. So the weightage is 3 marks altogether. Okay, rancidity, either they ask what is rancidity for 1 mark, or they will go for 2 marks to ask how to prevent the rancidity. So as we all know that whenever the fats or the oil containing food items, when they come in contact with the oxygen, they get oxidized and produce the foul smell and the bad taste. That is known as the rancidity. When fats and oil are oxidized, their smell and taste changes. So that process is called as what? That is called as rancidity. Hope this is clear with the first question for the 1 marks. So next one, second question for the 1 marks, that is, write the structural formula for the compound obtained when one atom of hydrogen ethane is replaced by the CHO group. So first, when you are reading the question, don't get panic. First, just try to understand the question and then you go for the answer. Now here the question what they're asking is, write the structural formula of the compound. They already the compound they are given as a ethane, that is the C2H6. Now they are telling structural formula of compound obtained when one atom of the hydrogen is replaced by the CHO group. Now they are taking, now this is the ethane, out of this one hydrogen is replaced, okay, by the CHO group. So that will be this one. Okay, CHO group is added to the terminal end. So this is aldehyde group which has been attached, that is CHO group. C double bond O and C single bond H will be there on the terminal part. If it is non-terminal, if it is there in between, that will become ketone function group. Now as it is at the terminal end, so 1, 2, 3, 3 carbon prop. Okay, from the propane we are removing the E and adding as Al. So the name of the compound is the propanol, and we are supposed to write the structural formula for the same. Hope this is clear. Yes, it is clear. Yes. Okay. Aluminum articles do not corrode easily like iron articles. Justify this statement. Aluminum articles do not corrode easily like the iron articles. See, whenever iron will come in contact with the oxygen or moisture, definitely it will get rusted. But aluminum, speciality of the aluminum is when it comes in contact with the oxygen, that particular aluminum will develop the oxide layer above that, and that oxide layer itself will prevent from the further oxidation. Further oxidize it will not allow. Why? Because of the formation of the aluminum oxide. Okay, the stable oxide layer or the aluminum oxide layer is formed when it reacts with the oxygen, which prevents from the corrosion or which prevents from the further oxidation. That's what you are supposed to write the answer. Hope this is clear. Yes, 3 questions. Now the next one is, see here. So next one what they're telling. So this next section carries 2 marks, and altogether we have how many questions? 3 questions are there. Each question carries how many marks? 2 marks. So total weightage for the third section in the chemistry part is 6 marks. This is very, very simple. Okay. Analyze the list of the experiments in the table given below. In which of the experiments the following salts will be produced? Very simple concept. Whenever the strong acid will react with the weak base, definitely what will be produced? The salt which will be produced is the acidic. It will be produced what? It will produce which salt? Acidic salt. Okay. Acidic salt. Where is that? Okay. Acidic salt. When weak acid will react with a strong base, which is strong, that salt will be produced. It will produce a basic salt. Now here third option, strong acid and strong base, neutral salt. Weak acid and weak base, again it will produce neutral salt only. Very simple concept. Okay. So next one, see here. Name the catalyst used and the product obtained in the hydrogenation of the ethene. Hydrogenation. Okay, or addition reaction. So what is happening? They are converting the unsaturated hydrocarbon into saturated hydrocarbon compound by adding the hydrogen. If you want to add the hydrogen, definitely we need to use the catalyst. Now here they are asking which catalyst they are using in terms of converting the ethene into ethane, or the unsaturated hydrocarbon compound into saturated hydrocarbon compound, that is nickel, or we can write it as palladium. Okay, so the product obtained here is the ethane. Ethane is what? It is the saturated hydrocarbon compound, and ethene is what? Unsaturated hydrocarbon compound. Is that clear? Okay, that is about the hydrogenation. Then or one more option is there, or they are given here. So what is that? The molecular formula for the first member of the homologous series of the carbon compound is CH2HCHO. Determine the name and the molecular formula for the third member of this group. Mention the general name of this group. Okay, mention the general. As it is CHO. Okay, that means it will belong to which functional group? Aldehyde. And the third, they're asking, determine the name and the molecular formula of the third member of this group, that is the propanol. CH3, CH2, CHO. C3H6O also we can write, or we can write C2H5CHO. Both are same. Now this diagram, how many times they ask, we no idea and all. So keep on practicing this kind of diagram which are important for a board exam. And when it comes to the chemistry diagram, please do not forget to use the scale. You cannot draw the freehand diagram when it comes to chemistry diagram. Biology, okay, fine, we can have a freehand diagram, but for chemistry, you need to use the scale. That is the which diagram they ask. Show the action of this steam on the metal. Okay, and they ask you to label few parts. Okay, they are not given here. This is a delivery tube. Okay, here we have taken the glass hole. Here there is a metal, and this was the inverted test tube, and the water is there. Okay, so please do practice this diagram. So next comes the 3 marks, 3 questions are there. One such question will come every year board exam, that is about the balancing the chemical equation. Write the balance equations and all. Here they ask very simple. So please practice all the sort of balancing the equation by yourself. So it will be very easy to score the good marks, and very simple way to score the good marks. Okay. Calcium carbonate. This is a decomposition reaction. When we heat the calcium carbonate, definitely it will decompose to form calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. This is what? This is the which reaction? Combination reaction. Hydrogen plus chlorine, hydrogen chloride. Magnesium plus hydrochloric acid will form magnesium chloride plus hydrogen. This is the displacement reaction. You need to write all the balanced equation as they are given. You can take the screenshot whenever I am moving away from the screen, so that it will be helpful you to practice the answers which are been given in the model question paper number 4. Model question number 4. And if you definitely like my teaching role, please don't forget to subscribe my channel and share with all your class 10 students, so that they can get the benefit out of these model question papers and score a good marks in upcoming board exam. Now next question, see here. What is neutralization reaction? Okay, so reaction with the acids and base to produce respective salt and water is called as neutralization reaction. Even though they didn't ask example, please do provide the examples wherever it is necessary in terms of chemical equations. Okay, it's not compulsory that they'll ask what is neutralization reaction, give an example. Where it's necessary, it is a bonus for you. So please do provide. It will hardly take few seconds to mention the example for the same. The next question, sub question in the 23rd is the name the acid present in the following substances: curd, lactic acid, gastric juice, hydrochloric acid, which is there inside the stomach, released by the gastric glands and all. Now this one is again, so many times they ask this question, and you should know how to write this answer proper step by step, not to write dot structure directly which is given in the textbook. Now here what they ask, explain the formation of the ionic bond between the sodium and chlorine, or they might ask magnesium and chlorine, or if they miss here, they can go for Lewis dot structure. They might ask the dot structure, Lewis dot structure for the methane, ethane, nitrogen, oxygen, water, so and so in the carbon's compound. So practice all those things. Either they'll ask in that chapter dot structure, or this one. Here they ask for 3 marks, and it's very simple to write this answer. Let us try to understand. The first thing what we should do, the first thing is, first we should write the atomic number of the sodium and the chlorine. The atomic number of sodium is 11, then the chlorine is 17. Then write the electronic configuration. After that, you write in the sentence, sodium will lose 1 electron to form sodium anion, and chlorine will gain 1 electron to form chlorine cation. Like that we should write and mention this equation. Then you go for the dot structure. You need to practice this, both magnesium chloride and the sodium chloride. Okay, very, very simple explanation they are given here. You can take the screenshot of the same. So next one, see here. Write the chemical reactions to provide that aluminum oxide is an amphoteric oxide. They didn't ask what is amphoteric oxide, but please do provide the answer for that. Amphoteric oxides are those oxides which will react with the acid as well as base, or they behave as acid as well as base when they react with the acid or base to form the respective salt and water. And then they provide the equation. Aluminum oxide reacting with the acid. Now aluminum oxide is behaving as a base as it is reacting with the acid. That's the reason it is able to form the salt, so-called AlCl3, aluminum chloride, and water. And when the aluminum oxide is reacting with the base, so-called sodium hydroxide, it will behave as an acid. How will come to whether it's behaving as an acid or not? Because it is forming the sodium aluminate, which is a salt, and the water. So this is a chemical reaction to prove that aluminum oxide behave as an amphoteric oxide. Okay, hope this is clear. Now next one, either they ask the extraction of the metal carbonates or the metal sulfide ores. Okay, how do you extract? Or else they'll ask the difference between the calcination and roasting. Here they didn't give the equation at all. Please do mention the equation for the same and all. So what is calcination? Calcination C. That means carbonate ore, extracting of the carbonate ores in the limited supply of oxygen, and when we heat that particular carbonate ore, then only we can extract the what? We can convert that carbonate ore into their respective oxides, so that it will be easy for the extraction of the metal. Roasting means what? Heating of the sulfide ores in the excess supply of the oxygen. Heating of sulfide ores, okay, in the supply of the oxygen, we call it as roasting. Okay, so here the carbon dioxide, carbonate, no, whenever carbonate come, which gas is released? Definitely carbon dioxide. 1 mark question also they'll ask based on this and all. Carbon dioxide produced in this process. Here we are heating the sulfide ores, definitely it will produce which gas? Sulfur dioxide. Along with that, do not forget to mention the equation for the same. Okay, fine. So next one is the answer the following question. 4 marks, 1 question they'll ask. Here they ask one of such question. Let us try to understand this question with the answer. Now, what is the first question? Give reason. What reason they ask? The reason, that is the carbon atoms neither form C4 minus anion nor C4 plus anion. So they will not form the ionic compound, or they will not form the ionic bond. Instead, they will form the covalent bond. In case carbon atomic number is 6. 6 protons are there, 6 electrons are there. If the carbon has to lose 4 electrons to become C4 plus, that is the carbon cation, it requires lot of energy to pull out or to push out the 4 electrons. So that is not possible, as the number of protons are very less energy is there. So it requires lot of energy, that is not possible. In case if the carbon will gain 4 electrons, the total number of electrons in its orbit will be total 10. So that means 6 proton in the nucleus of the carbon will be unable to hold the 10 electrons in its outermost orbit. So that's the reason carbon atom neither form C4 minus anion nor form C4 plus cation. This is the reason behind that. Same explanation you need to give. Sub question is there again. Ethanoic acid is known as glacial acetic acid because ethanoic acid freezes during the winter in the cold climate. That's the reason it is also called as what? Glacial acetic acid. Very simple. Okay. Hope this carries 2 marks weightage. Another 2 marks sub question is there. Write the structural formula of the following carbon compounds. One is butane, another one is the cyclohexane. Butane, but means see, meth 1 carbon atom, eth 2, prop 3, but 4, pent 5, hex 6, hept 7. At least you remember 7 to 8, oct 8 and all. Okay. But means 4 atoms. You draw it here 4 atoms. As there is a YNE, that means between the any one carbon to carbon, there has to be the triple bond. There has to be how many bonds? Triple bond. So mention the structure as usual. Now this carbon is having 3 bonds, and how many are remaining? 1 bond, only 1. Again, don't write up and down here, hydrogen atoms and all. Carbon is tetravalent, only 4 bonds need to be there. This carbon is having 3 bonds and 4 bonds. No need to mention here. Remaining you are supposed to mention, and the formula also you write here. 1, 2, 3, 4. C4H6. Okay, CnH2n minus 2, general formula for the alkynes. Now cyclohexane. So now I ask you to write the structural formula. They told write the structural formula, doesn't mean that you should write the molecular formula. Write the structural formula means you need to draw the structure for this particular cyclohexane. Along with that, do not forget to mention the molecular formula also. Fine with that. Now see here, cyclohexane. Hexane means 6 carbon atom. AN is there. Carbon-carbon single bond. Each carbon will be having 2 hydrogen atoms. This carbon is having 2 hydrogen atoms, and here 2 bonds. So total 4 bonds. But what happens when they ask you to write the molecular formula, most of them what they will do, hexane C6AN, you will write C6H14. That is incorrect. When it comes to the cyclo, two hydrogen atoms will be reduced because the ending carbon atoms are attached to each other. Two hydrogen atoms will be reduced. So it will be always any cycloalkanes. The formula applies is CnH2n only. For the cycloalkanes, the formula will be C6H12. C6H12. Is that clear now? Yes, understanding? Cycloalkanes formula will be CnH2n only, because the terminal end of the carbons, again they bond together, there they miss the two hydrogen atoms. Is that clear? Fine, understanding? Okay, so this is the last question of the chemistry part. One more question is there, very important, or question they given, that is the explain the mechanism of the cleansing action of the soap. Okay, so soap molecule will be having, one is hydrophilic end, another one is the hydrophobic end. Hydrophobic end, it hates the water. Hydrophilic end, which is the ionic end, which is made of the sodium or potassium salt ions, which is the hydrophilic end, that is it loves the water. When you apply the soap to the clothes and all this hydrophobic end will come in contact with the dirt. If this is the dirt, they arrange themselves in the spherical or radial manner. They come in contact with the dirt, and the opposite end, the other end of the soap molecule, which is ionic end or so-called hydrophilic end, that will get exposed to the water, and they form the radial structure, so-called the micelles. Okay, and when we rinse it, the dirt will come out of the cloth. Same explanation they are given. You can just take the screenshot of the same. Now, last question, that is the sub question in the OR option, that is the right difference between saturated and unsaturated hydrocarbon compound. Saturated hydrocarbon compound, they form the single bond between the carbon and carbon atoms. Unsaturated hydrocarbon compound, they form double or triple bond. One difference. Second difference, definitely saturated hydrocarbon compounds are bonded with the 4 bonds or the carbon, so it is less reactive. Unsaturated are more reactive. Example, alkanes and alkynes for the unsaturated hydrocarbon compound. One more difference you can write, when we burn the saturated hydrocarbon compound, they provide the blue color flame with a non-sooty flame, and the unsaturated hydrocarbon compound, as there is incomplete combustion takes place, so they do produce what? Yellow color sooty flame. Hope the chemistry part is clear. Yes? Fine. So next we are going to discuss the set number 4 biology questions. After that, my friend Amit sir will be discussing on the physics part. So let us have a look on all the questions related to the biology. So the first section is a multiple choice question. In chemistry 3 questions were there, and in the biology we will be having only 2 MCQs. Okay, so each will carry 1 mark. The first question, the process of producing new individual in the rhizopus is 4 options: spore formation, fragmentation, budding, and regeneration. Okay, rhizopus is an example for the which type of sexual reproduction? That is the spore formation. Okay, the next one is the part of flower. This question so many times they ask, so many times. The part of the flower that develops into a fruit and the part of the seed that develops into a root respectively. So the part of the flower which develops into the fruit is the ovary. Ovary will develop into the fruit. Remember, ovule will develop into a seed, zygote will develop into an embryo. Now here the fruit is developed by the ovary, and the part of the seed that develops into a root. They are talking about the germination, plumule and radicle. Plumule will develop into a shoot and radicle will develop into a root. The correct option is the C option, ovary and radicle. Ovary will develop into fruit and radicle will develop into radicle root. Plumule will develop into a shoot. Remember all those things. Okay. So next question. Organisms that reproduce sexually are more likely to survive in their environment because in sexual reproduction, these organisms have many number of successful variation. Because of this variation, there will be change in the body features which will be helpful for adaptation to the organism due to the climatic changes. So the correct option is will have the maximum number of successful variation in the subsequent generation, which leads to the variation and all. Okay. So next section is, that is, answer the following short answers. Each question will carry 1 mark. Total 3 questions are there. The first question is, what is the function of the synapse? Okay, synapse is a a micro gap between the nerve ending of one neuron and the dendrite of the another neuron, where this electrical impulse are converted into the chemical signals with the help of the neurotransmitter that is called as a synapse. Okay, see their answer. Transmit the chemical signals generated at the axon terminal or at the nerve ending to the dendrites. Electrical signal, it will get converted into the chemical signal between the nerve ending and the dendrites of the other neuron. There is a small gap that is called as synapse. That is the function of the synapse. Is self-pollination possible in flowers that have only stamen? Justify your answer. In the flower, self-pollination, if it has to happen, both the male reproductive part and the female reproductive part has to be there. Both stamen and pistil has to be there. But here they are telling only stamen is there. That is only male reproductive part. If there is only male reproductive part, definitely the pollen grains will not go and get stick to the stigma because there is absence of female reproductive part. Okay. So no self-pollination is possible only self-pollination happens only in the bisexual flower, not in the unisexual flowers like papaya or the watermelon. The respiration, next question, that is 31st question. The respiration rate of the aquatic animals is faster than that is found in the terrestrial animals. Why? Okay. So why the rate of breathing is faster in aquatic organism? Because the oxygen is there fairly soluble in water. It will be there in the dissolved form. That's the reason the rate of the breathing or respiration will be faster than compared to that of the terrestrial organism, as terrestrial organisms have the free oxygen molecules in the atmosphere. So that is the answer you are supposed to write. So next one. See here, answer the following. So two questions are there, each carries 2 marks. So remember one thing, so many times I told you guys that if you want to really score out of 4, you tend to write 1 marks, 2 marks question properly. But when it comes to 3 and 4 marks, most of the students, what you will do, you sit and read and all. Okay, still 100 days are there. Have a habit of practicing the question and answers which you feel difficulty in writing and all. Check by yourself, because by practicing, when you commit mistakes, now only you can correct by yourself. So if you won't practice it, you know the concept. I am sure that you know the concept very well, no doubt in that, but you don't know how to put the answer in the answer sheet, how to put across the answer, how to write the answers and all. So please have a habit of writing the answers. Every day at least try to practice 3 question answers. That means 100 days are there. So that will totally, by the end of the exam, will be around 250 or 300 question answers will be perfect with that. So have a habit of just go across 4 model question paper, check out all the previous 5 years question papers chapter wise and all. So daily start physics today. If you're practicing 3 questions from physics, tomorrow chemistry, tomorrow biology, like that, vice versa. You start practicing from day 1. 100 days are left. Definitely, you see the improvement in your series exams. A lot of changes will happen. You will have the confidence level so that you can write the answers properly. So better way to score good marks is writing without seeing. I am just telling 3 question answers. It will not take more than half an hour. Reserve the half an hour time for the science, half an hour for the mathematics, half an hour for the English. Like that, you divide the time irrespective of tomorrow which exam is there, tomorrow holiday, is there any function there, doesn't matter. So restrict yourself to practice every day 3 questions. This is my simple suggestion, and that will definitely work out with you guys. Okay, so 2 questions, 2 marks. Okay, so first one is, what is geotropism? Name the plant part that is posteriorly geotrophic. Okay, so what is geotropism? Growth of the part of the plant towards the gravity, that is called as geotropism. So growth of the root towards the gravity is the example. Okay, direction growth in the plant towards the gravity, or the direction growth of the roots towards the gravity is called as geotrophism. Example you can or they are given. Okay, name the hormones that perform the following function in the humans: controlling the level of the sugar in the blood, that is the insulin, and preparing the body to face an emergency situation, that is the adrenaline. Growth hormone, okay, pituitary gland is the growth hormone which regulates the growth in our body. One more hormone is the thyroxine secreted by thyroid gland, which will regulate the metabolism of the carbohydrate, fats and proteins, and also bring out the balanced growth. All the hormones we go across, one question will come for 2 marks based on the hormones and their respective gland and their function. Okay, now see here the next question. Okay, the approximate length of the small intestine of the animals A and B are given in the table. Observe the data in the table and answer the following question. Animal A, The length of small letter 20 to 40 feet and animal B is 5 to 8 feet. Okay. Identify the herbivorous and carnivorous animals. Remember, carnivorous animals, the meat, flesh-eating animals, they do have the smaller length of the small intestine compared to that of the herbivorous animals, because the herbivorous animals which will feed on the grass will be having the complex carbohydrate, so-called cellulose. It will take much more time to digest the cellulose which is present in the grass compared to that of the flesh or the meat. That's the reason herbivorous animals have the longer small intestine compared to that of the carnivorous animals. So A is the herbivorous and B is the carnivorous in this case. Define the following. So this is the next section, that is the 14th section, which carries a 3 marks each question. 3 questions are there, total 9 marks weightage for this section. So first question is 34A question. Define the following: food chain and biomagnification. So what is food chain? A series of organisms feeding on one another form a relation in the ecosystem where the energy will be transferred from each trophic level as we go higher. Biomagnification, accumulation of the harmful chemical substances or the toxic substances increasingly in each trophic level of the food chain, that is called as biomagnification. The next sub question is mention the function of the ozone. Name the chemical responsible for the ozone depletion. So ozone is a kind of protective layer which will avoid the entry of the ultraviolet rays which can cause the cancer or the plant diseases and all. Okay, and the chemical responsible for the ozone depletion is the chlorofluorocarbon, that is the CFCs, which is used in the refrigerators and the air condition. Nowadays they have stopped, but because of that, what will happen? The depletion of the ozone, that O3 molecule will break down to form O2 and the oxygen atom. That's how the depletion of the ozone takes place. Okay, so this function of the ozone, write it properly. Next question is about the monohybrid cross and the dihybrid cross. Okay, compulsory on the heredity chapter, either they'll ask monohybrid or dihybrid or sex determination. Out of these 3 questions, one question will come for 3 marks: monohybrid, dihybrid and the sex determination. All are very, very simple. If any case study basis like this, if they are having one pair of contrasting character, definitely you should do the monohybrid cross. Same method as given in the textbook, and the phenotypic ratio and genotypic ratio will be same. If they are giving 2 pairs of contrasting character, that means you should do the dihybrid cross and you should remove only the phenotypic ratio for the F2 generation. Step by step you do. While doing, make sure that you write here parents, tall plant and dwarf plant, then the gametes, then cross pollination, then F1 generation, then selfing of F1 generation. Put the Punnett square, write the phenotypic ratio. Do not forget to write in the bracket 3:1. If you write, what are those 3? What is this one? Genotypic ratio 1:2:1. 1 is pure tall, 2 is impure or hybrid tall, 1 is pure dwarf. Do not forget to mention and write. Do not forget to write the conclusion also. Step by step you do. Okay. Now next question, sub question is how is the baby girl sex will be determined? Because of the father only, right? Yes, because in the male XY chromosome will be there. Female, any egg if you take, it will be only X chromosomes only. If the X chromosome of the male sperm will fuse with the X chromosome of the egg, definitely it will be the baby girl. And if the Y chromosome or the sperm carrying the Y chromosome will fuse with the X chromosome of the egg, definitely it will be the baby boy. So percentage will be 50-50 chances will be there, so that they can give rise to baby boy or the baby girl. Now our question is there, okay, that is, see the 2 pair of contrasting character, round yellow, okay, versus, okay, round and yellow seeds producing pea plants are self-pollinated. Express the result obtained in the crossing with the help of the checkerboard. Mention the types of the plants obtained over here. Okay, round yellow versus wrinkle green. They are not given the perfect question. Same as it is given in textbook. You should do. Let them change the alleles. Let them like wrinkle inflated pod shape or considered pod shape, or the white flowers, purple flowers. If there is 1 pair of contrasting character, just do a monohybrid cross. If they are giving 2 pairs of contrasting character, then go for dihybrid cross, and do not forget to mention the phenotypic ratio and the details. So 36th question, which is of again 3 marks. So they are asking here, what they are asking: in a situation where we withdraw our leg when stepped on the thorn unknowingly when you step, okay, on the thorn, okay, So write the sequences of the events that occur to give the response in this situation. Which part of the human nervous system control this action as it is emergency situation, when you touch a hot object, when you keep our feet on the thorn and all, when somebody prick you, that time emergency situation, spinal cord. Okay, the human nervous system control this section is the spinal cord. Now here the thing, write the sequence of the events that occur giving the response in this situation. First, the receptor cell in the skin will receive the stimuli of the pain. Okay, thigmoreceptors. Then the message reach the spinal cord through the sensory neuron. Through the sensory neuron, from the feet it will go to the spinal cord, and it will respond back with the help of the which neuron? Motor neuron. Responses reach the motor neuron through association neuron. Response reach the effector through the motor neuron. Muscles will withdraw the leg. Muscles are nothing but the effectors, and spinal cord is the one that will control this action. Brain, later the message will be sent. Okay, they are talking about the reflex action. The last question is for 4 marks, that is the diagram of the human heart. From past 2-3 years, if you see board exam, usually they ask the diagram of the human brain. So this year I am personally expecting that definitely for 4 marks or for 3 marks, definitely they are going to ask the human heart. Okay, so this is all about the biology section. Hope you are understood with the all the question and answers I have explained in detail, and also I try to relate with the other questions, possible questions where they can ask questions based on this and all. Okay, sorry, one more question is there for 5 marks. Okay, I'm still sorry. Okay, so last question, that is the what happens if egg does not fertilize in the human female reproductive system? Explain. If egg is fertilized, definitely it will become embryo that will get implanted in the on the placenta. That's called implantation. It will grow for the 9 months and all. Now they are asking, what if the egg does not fertilize? Then what will happen? The placenta, which is prepared, with a rich amount of the blood vessels and all, it will get collapsed, and the blood along with the mucus will flow out of the reproductive system. That is called as menstruation, which takes place once in 20 days. Write it properly. Okay, see here. The uterus prepares itself every month to receive the fertilized egg. The lining of the uterus becomes thick and spongy. But if fertilization does not occur, then this lining of the uterus breaks down along with the blood vessels. The degenerated part of the uterus along with the blood moves out of the vagina in the form of bleeding. That is only called as what? Menstruation, which takes place once in 20 days in the females. Okay. So next question is, write any 4 advantages of the vegetative propagation. Okay. So plants can bear the flowers and fruits earlier. We usually obtain the desired character. Plants grow faster. Plants produce are genetically identical. Desired characters can be maintained indefinitely. Helpful to grow banana, orange, rose and jasmine that have lost the capacity to produce the seeds or the viable seeds and all. Write 2 examples for the organism that reproduce by the binary fission. Binary fission. They didn't ask the multiple fission, that is amoeba, leishmania and the bacteria. You give at least 2 examples of the amoeba, leishmania, which was given in the NCERT. So next, or they are given again for 5 marks. In women, how does a fertilized egg develop into embryo in the uterus? If the egg is fertilized, how it will develop? The fertilized egg start dividing and forms a ball of cells that is called as embryo. That embryo slowly get implanted on the lining of the uterus, so-called placenta, where the nourishment and also the waste will be taken from the mother's blood, and that's how the fetus will be growing. The next sub question is surgical contraception a better method of the contraception than physical contraception like the by using condoms and all? Justify your answer. Yes, it has no side effects. That's the reason surgical contraception method is a better one, like that of the vasectomy or the tubectomy in the females. Write the function of the testes in the male reproductive system. One is production of the sperm and also the hormone, so-called the testosterone. In the female, again, ovary will produce the ovum or the ova, and also the female hormones, sex hormones, so-called the estrogen and the progesterone. So, hope this is clear. Okay, with the biology part. So I discussed chemistry and biology part. Next, our friend or colleague Amit sir will be discussing on the physics part. Any doubts are there? Any sort of doubts related to this question or any concept related to the science class 10? Please feel free to mention in the comment box. Definitely, I am going to revert back. Hope you like this video. Please do subscribe and do not forget and share with your friends and all. Jai Hind.
Hello students. I am your Amit sir. I hope you are preparing well for your annual examination. So today I am here to discuss the department model question papers of science. So let us discuss the fourth set of model question paper of physics. First question, the diameter of the reflecting surface of spherical mirror. It is aperture we call. And second question, when three resistors of different resistance are connected parallel in a circuit and switched on, then the quantity remains same in all resistors. That is what a potential difference will remains the same. Because they are connected in parallel, potential difference will remains the same there. And next question, coming to 1 marks question. What are the reasons for overload in an electric circuit? So first one, accidental hike in the supply of voltage. There is sudden hike in the voltage will be there, that is one reason. And connecting too many appliances for one circuit only. And third one, when live wire and neutral wire are come in contact to each other. That is third reason. And here in the fourth question, it is given that the two situations are given. So here two circuits are there, means two wires are there, current are moving in a same direction, situation 1, and in situation 2, currents are moving in opposite direction. Here, there, when currents are moving in opposite direction, this A and M and B and N act as an opposite poles. Okay, and opposite poles of magnets will attract each other. Opposite poles of magnet will attract each other. And next one, what is the color of danger signal lights? Why is that color is preferred? We know that in signals or whatever may be, the danger color is taken as what? Red. So this question is asked maximum times. Why red color only means? Red color is scattered least and bent least. And it is observed from long distance also. That is the reason. Among nichrome and copper wires, which of the wires is used in electric fan and in coils of electric heater? Why? So one is nichrome is there and another one is copper wire is there. In electric, copper wire is used in electric fans. Okay, whereas because of resistivity is what? Less there, low resistance will be there. And nichrome wire, it is used as a coil in electric heater. So reason is what? High resistance will be there, high resistivity will be there, and its melting point is what? More, high melting point will be there. Means it suddenly does not breaks there. And next one, draw the diagram of indicating, that is the field lines of a magnetic field around what? Current carrying conductor. So this diagram you can draw it what? Very easily. Diagrams and problems in physics very important there. Next, coming to 3 marks question, correct? Draw the ray diagram is there. This one question compulsory will be there. So when object is kept between C and F is there. Okay, C and F means we know that one line will passes from the center and after reflection it returns back in the same direction, and one line it is parallel to the principal axis and it passes through water focus. So image will be formed below the principal axis. Okay, and it is formed water beyond C is there, and it is real image and it is water inverted and large. These 2 points are very important. Position of the image, and one more is water nature is real, inverted, and large image will be there. Next one, Explain the experiment to demonstrate current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field experiences the forces. So here one magnetic setup is there, correct? So this is one aluminum rod is there, A and B is there, and one horseshoe magnet is connected, and this rod is connected to electric circuit or a current. So when current is passed one direction, no, it's moving. The rod will move in one direction, and when current is passed, we have taken it in opposite direction means then also it moves in water. Deflection will be different depending upon water flow of the current there. Next question. And here one thing you have to note that diagram must be compulsory. Next one. Explain the activity magnetic field lines around magnet using compass and compass needle. Okay, one magnetic compass. First what you have to do means in a plain white paper we have to fix it for a cardboard. On that magnet you have to keep, and we have to mark the borders of that magnet. Then we have to take one compass. We have to keep one end. Either if you take it a north pole or a south pole, you have to note the deflection. Then coming to another pole, then you have to take the deflection. If you go on continue in the direction means magnetic fields will be curved. It is going to form a curve it is going to form there. Yes, coming to next question. A student clearly reads letters of textbook only when the textbook kept at a distance more than 50 centimeter from his eyes without difficulty. Then identify this defect of the eye. And second question, suggest a remedy for this defect. So this defect is what a hypermetropia we call. Okay, that is far-sightedness. A person can see far object and he cannot see what a near objects. And using convex lens we can correct it. So convex lens what it does means it converges the rays so that easily we can see what a near worlds. Next, coming to B question, when a sunlight passes through trees of a dense forest on a foggy morning, then the path of light beam of light appears between trees. So what is this phenomena is called? This phenomena is called as Tyndall effect we call. Okay, and the same phenomena is not normally visible in open field. Why? Write your analysis. So why it is not visible effect in normal region means the particle of same size might be smaller than what they are appearing in dense forest. That is the reason. Okay, so first one is Tyndall effect. And second question, the positions of the stars changes apparently in the clear sky. Why? Explain is that. So here this is because of what? One, the straight line on entering to the earth. Straight line means what? Sunlight rays which are passing to atmospheres they are straight line. Okay, so undergoes refraction continuously before it reaches to what? Earth. Straight lines means sun rays we call it as what? Straight line. Since the atmosphere bends these straight lines towards the normal, so the position of the stars apparently changes in what? Clear sky there. Okay. Next question. White light is passed through given arrangement of three prisms X, Y, Z shown in the given figure below there. So here three prisms are there. Okay. So it is first one straight as it is, and it is inverted, and again it is straight. So when a light is passed, no, again what it happens means it is spectrum of light seen on the screen. Again we are going to see the spectrum there. We know the spectrum. Spectrum means we call it as an Waveguide we call. Okay. always it starts from bottom. Okay, bottom to last, top will be there. Okay. And disperses white light, split white light into 7 colors. So prism's work is what? It disperses the white lights and 7 colors it is going to what? Divide there. Next one. What is magnification? Write the formula to calculate magnification of image produced by the lens. So magnification means what? Ratio of height of the object to distance, height of the image to height of the object, or you can take so height of the object h dash by h, or ratio of image distance to what? Object distance there. We know that image distance is v and object distance is what? U there. M means what? Magnification. So the ratio of height of the image to what? Height of the object, that also is what? Magnification. Or the ratio of distance to the ratio of image distance to what? Object distance, we can take it. So M equals to what? H dash by h, or V by what? U there. Next one. State the laws of reflection of a light. So first one, the angle of incidence and the angle of reflection always what? Equal will be there. Angle of incidence will be is equals to angle of a reflection. And second one, the incident ray, the reflected ray, and normal drawn at the point of incidence, they are what? They lie on the same plane. One is incident ray, reflected ray, and the normal drawn, all lie on what? Same plane. This is second one. And coming to problems, in the beginning, as I told you, problems and diagrams are very, very important. Two resistors of resistance 10 ohm and 40 ohm are connected in series and connected to what? 12 volt battery. Calculate the equivalent resistance and in the circuit and total current flowing in the circuit. That also you have to find that. So they are connected in series. So first one 10 ohm is there, we will take it as an R1. Second one R2 40 ohm and voltage is given 12 volt, and we have to find the resistance in series because it is connected in what? Series there. So I means current, you have to find that. So we know that RS means sum of the resistances. So R1 plus R2, 10 plus 40 is 50 ohm. So it is total resistance. And I equal to, we know that V by R is a formula. Voltage is given and resistance we got here 50. Okay. So 12 by 50 is what? 0.24 amperes. This is a unit. So unit also very, very important. It carries marks there. And the next question. A washing machine rated 500 watt is used for 2 hours a day for 30 days. Calculate the cost using these appliances at 3 rupees per kilowatt hour. How much amount we have to pay? Whatever current we have used, that we have to answer here. So total energy consumed by washing machine in 30 days, that is 500 watt into 2 hours per day is given and into 30 days. So it becomes what? 30,000 watt hour will become. So we will convert it for 30 kilowatt hour because 1 kilowatt hour is given. So we have to convert it. So 1000 is there here, 30,000. 1000 is what? Kilowatt hour. Thus the cost will become what? 30 kilowatt hour into 3 rupees is given per kilowatt hour, 3 rupees. 30 into 3 is what? The total cost is 90 rupees you have to pay there. Coming to next question. Resistance of a metal wire of length 2 meter is 28 ohm. One length of wire is there. That resistance is how much? That is 28 ohm is there. The length of the wire is what? 2 meter. And at 20 degrees Celsius is there. If the diameter of the wire is given, we know that it depends upon diameter of the wire also. is 0.4 millimeter, then what will be the resistivity of the metal at that temperature? At given temperature, we have to find the resistivity there. So given resistance is given 28 ohm is there, diameter is given 0.4 millimeter, and length is given 2 meters there. We have to find the resistivity, rho we call. And first you have to find the radius, d by 2, diameter divided by 2, 0.04 divided by 2 means what? 0.02 millimeter, because it's given here. 0.4 millimeter is there, so now it becomes 0.02 millimeter. And that will convert into 2 into 10 to the power 5 minus 5 meter it is. Okay, we'll divide it there. So area equals to, because area of cross section circular will be there, area equal to pi r square. Pi is 3.14 and r square is what? 2 into 10 to the power minus 5 whole square. R square is there. This will give 12.56 into 10 to the power minus 10 meter square is there. Area always in square units there. So rho equals to, resistivity equals to what? R into A divided by L. So R is 28, A we have got now 12.56 into 10 to the power minus 10 divided by 2. So this gives 175.84 into 10 to the power minus 10. We'll convert it, we'll bring the decimal here. So plus 2 will be there, 1.75 into 10 to the power minus 8 will be there, resistivity. Okay, coming to next question, last question of this model question paper, fourth one. 1000 joules of heat produced each 2 seconds in a 5 ohm resistor. Find the potential difference across the resistor. You have to find that. First you have to go for given and you have to write it given there. So H, because H heat, H means heat is measured in joules. So H is given here 1000 joules, time is given 2 seconds, resistance is given in 5 ohms, current you have to find, and potential difference means a voltage you have to find that. So according to Joule's law of heat, that is H equals to I square RT. Okay, so 1000 H equals to what? 1000 here, I square as it is, R is 5 unit, 5 ohms, and time is given 2 there. So I square equals to 5 into 2 is 10. When it is transferred, it comes to division. 1000 divided by 10, that will get what? 100 will get. So this 100,000 divided by 10 is what? 100. So that will give what? I equals to 10 amperes. So V equals to Ri. So resistance is 5 is there. 5 into 10 is what? 50 volt. Okay. So this is about what? Physics model question paper 4 there. In the next we are going to discuss model question paper 3 of the model question paper of department of this year.